Dopamine does not care about right or wrong. It only cares about what makes you feel powerful, ecstatic, or aroused. And so, your demon begins to open its eyes. No one notices it when it is newborn. Like a kitten hiding beneath the bed, it merely observes, quietly memorizing how light slips through the window, how a hand reaches to stroke it, how laughter bursts forth when a dark secret is kept safe. Science has shown that children exposed too early to stimuli their brains cannot yet process, especially sexual imagery, violence, or intense emotions, develop abnormal dopamine pathways. This means that later in life, normal will no longer be enough to excite them. They will seek stronger stimulation more often and be rarely satisfied. And that is the first nourishment for the demon. It does not snarl, it does not claw, it simply lies there, well fed on the drops of dopamine you pour without thinking. Each time you feel a thrill from doing wrong without being caught, it grows a little bigger. Each time you deliberately search for that same intoxicating image, it fattens another layer. And you, in those moments, have no idea that you have just signed a silent contract to nurture the one that will one day possess you. They say children forget quickly, but the brain does not forget. It records everything, especially the things tied to powerful pleasure. And once the demon has a home, it will stay. No knocking, no asking permission. Welcome to this episode of Stories and Postcards. I'm Khan's Corner, where the raw truths are laid bare. A demon, when first born, cannot live on its own. It waits for you to feed it. And the irony is that first meal is almost always served by your own hand, with a feeling that seems so innocent. The first time you feed your demon is rarely a crime. It is a moment of letting go, a moment of wanting to taste something new, a fleeting thought, just a little, then I'll stop. But for the brain, a little doesn't exist. Dopamine behaves like a cunning addict. Once it has tasted something once, it will find every way to taste it again. It might begin with a stolen glance, with being alone and by chance searching for an image you know was never meant for you, with hearing a crude story and feeling your heart race, or as simple as losing your temper, pouring your rage onto someone weaker, and feeling a strange pleasure creep in. That is the moment the demon gets its first bite. Science explains that each time dopamine floods your system, the brain records its source and stamps it with a high-priority label in memory. This means that if you've just experienced a powerful rush of pleasure from a certain act, your brain will prioritize repeating that act over others, even when your reason knows it's wrong. But the demon doesn't need you to understand this mechanism. It only needs you to remember that feeling and to crave it again. The next day or the next week, when your mind is wandering, it will knock on your door. Not loudly, not aggressively, just a soft tap and a whisper. Remember last time? That felt amazing. You open the door. Another meal is served. This time, the meat is richer, more savory, because you came looking for it instead of stumbling upon it. And when the last morsel is gone, you sigh, not from fullness, but from wanting more.